Hey guys, what is up? Mage here, doing another World Tanks 360 review. Today guys, we're doing a review for the Object 140. This is the other Tier 10 Soviet medium tank. It is one of three Soviet medium tanks you have to choose from at Tier 10. The other being the Object 430, of course the well-known T-62A, and you have this tank, the Object 140. What to say about this tank? This tank is pretty much... It is almost a mirror opposite in some ways to the T-62A, yet it is so similar. The main trade-offs to this tank, and we'll just go ahead and look at the package, and it, like most Tier 10s, there is no grind. You do get a 580 horsepower engine. You get the 100mm U8TS 100mm gun, 9.09 rounds a minute. Your penetration will be 264. And your damage will be 320 average damage. Your aiming time will be 2.09, and your accuracy is 0.34. Your traverse speed, your track traverse is 54 degrees per second, and your turret will give you 240 millimeters of armor from the front, 187 on the sides, and 65 in the back. Traverse speed is 40 degrees per second, and the view range is 400. Basically, this tank, to really sum it up, this is basically a T-62A that is not quite as maneuverable. It doesn't have quite the track traverse. Its turret actually turns a little bit slower than the T-62A. It basically compromises some of its maneuverability and its great, fantastic turret. For a turret that's weaker on the top, the turret can be overmatched on top. I've had lower tier tanks actually overmatch that top on occasion. It has been very infuriating when it happens. But you do get an extra degree of gun depression, and this tank does get up and go. It kind of reminds you a lot of the T-54 in some instances. Yeah, the hull is obviously not as good as a T-54, but some people might prefer that higher top speed, and it really, when you think about it, the T-54 could get pinned pretty easily, but you had to hit the hatches. You had to hit that turret just right on the T-54. This tank, you just got to hit that kind of weakish top, and you can overmatch it pretty darn easily. Some guns in this game have no trouble pinning that. But that is the best way to describe this tank. The aiming time, I wouldn't pay much mind to that, even though it is slightly higher than the T-62A. It's so marginal, I don't think it makes much of a difference. I think the only reason this gun might feel a little bit different to some people is because of dispersion on the move. I'm thinking it's a soft stat issue more than anything. In any case, I don't think it warrants considering a vert stab. I mean, this isn't like an STB-1. This gun handles magnificently. I don't care what anybody says. It's still a very good handling gun. Alright guys, I'll go ahead and switch to some gameplay. Catch you guys back here in a moment. Alright guys, here we're on El Huluf Standard Battle. Let's go ahead and get equipment out of the way for the Object 140. I run coated optics, gun rammer, and the vents for this tank. You might consider vert stabs. I don't think it's so much an issue of the aim time, even though on the stats page the aim time is supposedly a little bit higher on this tank. It's really the difference is so small that I don't think it's really all that noticeable. I think what it is, it's dispersion on the move. To sum it up with this tank, basically it's a faster zipping around T-62A with slightly better gun depression. It's otherwise the same tank. Yes, it's not as maneuverable. The turret may not turn as quickly. And like I said, the gun does feel it's a little off because of dispersion on the move, but when you compare this tank to, say, a STB-1, the gun handling is pretty damn magnificent. With that in mind, obviously, this is still a great tank. Would I recommend it? Yes, strongly. So let's go ahead. We're going to go up here, and it's basically a T-62A, guys, just with different trade-offs. The turret is not as good. The turret top in particular, turret face is fine, but the turret top can be overmatched, and I have had tanks be able to overmatch it many times over. So you might sit there and say, oh, okay, one more degree of gun depression. You know, now I can probably abuse hull down a little bit more often. Well, yes and no. Yes, in the sense that, yeah, you can definitely peak ridgelines a little bit more effectively. No, in the sense that the turret top can be overmatched, so you have to keep that in mind. Alright, team seems to be dispersing properly. We got guys guarding the flank, and we got guys moving up to the fighting. Here we go. Shot into that M46. Back off. Don't want to get hit if I can help it. Seems like our IS-8 took an aggressive approach. Ammo rack the T-57. He took another good hit. We do have a medium and middle. They're medium, I mean. He could potentially be a problem. I'm waiting to see if they're going to send anybody to that right, opposite of me. I'm not seeing it. Looks like we might just mop up. There we go. Oh, no, never mind. It's all over prototype A. I'm going to take a cheap shot if I can. Hit my fuel tank. It's fine. He got the DPM I got. Ammo racked him. He might be interested in getting away. There you go, nice bounce off the turret. As you can see, turret's fine. The turret is adequate, guys. I don't think it's horrible. Look, I honestly wish I had this kind of consistency out of this turret that I got out of the STB-1. The STB-1's a great tank. It's more bouncy, the turret, rather than a monstrous hull-down kind of turret. Oh, miscalculation there on my part.
Target unlocked.
Get that T-57 out of the way. But I do like this tank. It is very good. It does cater in some ways to the more aggressive player. You might be willing to take a hit in the traverse and the turret traverse department in order to get an overall quicker moving tank. So they do have a TD hiding. Alright. Well, we're just not going to sit there. Team, stop dying. And, of course, this tank isn't tall enough to use your teammates as cover properly. These guys are just taking their time getting up to them fighting. They're expecting them to just roll on out and get shot by them, but that ain't how it works sometimes. Go for a flank here with the 62A. He didn't get there you go. He got hit by him. Yeah, there's always a scumbag and a waffle hiding. Let's go ahead and tee off on him a little bit. Jaeger did push up, but it looks like the 62A here is scared to death of the, he might have been tracked. Let's see if he pushes down and I'll hit him. Alright, Type 61 basically may have saved the T-62A. You know, this is a choke point situation. There ain't much we can do about it. I'm gonna try something very risky and daring here. Very risky, stupid, and daring all at the same time. May very well get hit by the waffle. No, I will not.
Enemy exposed.
Nice bounce off the gun again, or the turret again. E-50 looks like he's going to go for a ram. We're not having none of that, sir. Good stuff, teammates. Now, I do expect this 183 or the waffle here to chime in very shortly. Wait for them to finish off that heavy adventure around here. I know the 183s are on the other side hiding. Get the guy out of the way. Here's, of course, the scumbag. Where's the bigger scumbag? There he is.
Target released.
Yeah, he was waiting for that side shot. It's fine now, I'll force your hand. I will force you to fire. That was a dumb bounce. And you can see there, the gun handling is fine. It's just fine. Perfectly fine, actually. It's just the dispersion on the move is what will troll you. It's not the handling at all. The gun is remarkably fine. It's well behaved. There's no issues with this gun at all. It does compromise, as I mentioned earlier, on the in the department of mobility or maneuverability. You do gain in speed, but that might be a trade-off some people are willing to make in this tank. Where are these scumbags at? Back up. Get out of my sight, scumbag. Nobody likes a tier 10 TD anyways. Let's see if we can help out this wonderful gentleman and his tank destroyer. That was a bad angle anyways. Just being, I'm a little cautious with that E3. Come on, IS4, be smart, sir. Don't be nudging me. It's not nice. Okay, he's out.
Another one down.
Good hit on that E3. Stay a little low, but I want to get aggressive here. I'm not afraid of this dirtbag and this TD. Oh, save something for me! I don't want to go flying up there and get killed. No, stay alive, scumbag, please!
Target acquired.
Ooh, jump shot, but I lost half my health. Oh well, it was fine. Worth it, totally worth it. But pretty much, besides that stupid play at the end, this is a good tank. I do like it. Shout out to that guy in the Jaeger for 7,000 damage. That is an excellent game in any tank. Even though it's a scumbag tank destroyer, still a good game on his part. 4,000 damage in a Russian medium tank sometimes is taken for granted because of the lower alpha damage. I think some people kind of underestimate the damage output on these tanks. You're still doing a lot of I guess you could say kind of position fights where you're taking a shot at people, backing off and reloading like any other tank. A lot of people think you just sit out there and you can just drop 2 in people and then get back and cover. Doesn't work that way with this tank. Doesn't work that way with any Russian medium. So pretty much with the Object 140, it is very much the same as the T62A. It just makes trade-offs in certain areas for the sake of having a higher top speed. It's not as maneuverable. It cannot turn on a dime as quickly as the T62A is. T62A does have better track traverse, and it also has a better turning turret than the Object 140. However, this tank gets up to speed, gets up to a higher top speed much quicker than the T62A. It does have an extra degree of gun depression, so it just comes down to how much you value that higher top speed and the extra degree of gun depression. Maybe you're willing to trade in that great turret for the sake of having one more little degree of gun depression that can help you in a fight. You might be willing to turn in some of that traverse speed for the sake of having a higher top speed. I think it's a good tank. I think anybody that likes the T62A will like this tank. It's fantastic, guys. There's no reason not to get it. The only knock on this tank I could possibly have that really hurts it is it does play amongst tier 10 tanks, and the gameplay in tier 10 can be very boring at times. You've seen there on El Haluf, we got into a stoppage. Everyone was kind of afraid to move, and that Waffenträger E100, despite him being a dirtbag, he did get 4,500 damage, and he held us off. He was the main reason we did not flank around as quickly as we could, because there's a bit of a fear factor with tank destroyers. Alright guys, I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.